This is ZNN, the Zodiac News Network.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks, Jethro. You know, it's been 6 months since we last filmed, and I better explain to the folks back home during the show what I've been off to. But, you know, just so you know, even though I'm a physician, I ran off to become a federal law enforcement officer with the United States Department of Justice.
Wow.
Just another feather in my cap. You know, it's just something in my career.
Yeah.
You know, I worked for the FBI for almost 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So how about you? What have you been up to while I was gone?
Well, you know, this isn't the only show that I produce.
It's not?
Absolutely not. I dabble in other things. Most
do?
importantly, I'm involved in a MTV / America's Got Talent music video.
You're kidding. I didn't know
No.
there was a musical side to you.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's get to the show so we don't
Okay.
waste any more time.
3, 2, 1, action.
Welcome back to ZNN, the Zodiac News Network, Episode 8. I am your host, Dr. Lawrence
Excuse me,
D'Ant-
but we're
What?
running into some technical difficulties.
What kind of technical difficulty?
My video is crossing over in.
Yeah, we haven't filmed in 6 months and you don't have the camera right?
Well, I'm sorry, but you know, it's like
What kind of
producing's hard.
professional are you?
Well, you know, I'm not dumb, okay? I don't expect.
You ran into another video on the camera.
Look, I do hard work here. You're always sending me off to do one thing after another.
Well, yeah.
and it's not like I'm going to the Mickey Mouse Club every day or something.
Well, Jethro, those are things that we need you to do.
Yeah, but what about Jethro? Go pick somebody up at the airport.
You know, what can I tell you? I gotta use you for what you're qualified.
Look, it's not like everybody says like I'm dumb.
Well, not everybody, but I
Look,
guess-
I'm smart. I want some respect, okay? He went away, and you hung around and bothered me every night. And when I wouldn't go out with you, you said things weren't very nice. My boyfriend's back, and you're gonna be in trouble. When you see him coming, better cut out on the double. You've been spreading lies.
Oh my God, Jethro! My God, I can't even look at you. You sing like an angel. I had no idea you could sing so beautifully.
Thank you.
Wow, I mean, I'm touched. That reached out, and I felt that emotionally. I mean, I was like,
I'm sorry I got so angry.
I got to tell you, that was one of the most beautiful things I ever heard. You remind me a lot of Taylor Hicks, the guy who won American Idol.
Thank
You've
you.
got the gray hair,
Thank
and you're a
you.
spitting image of him. Spitting.
Thank you.
But you sing like Adam Lambert. You know, it's kind of the Adam Lambert, Taylor Hicks type thing. You know.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I think you're gonna go far, real far. Okay, Jethro. Today, since you claim that you're smart, you know, I've learned a little bit about making videos, and the one thing I learned is you don't film over a pre-existing film. So let's see if you really are smart. I've been teaching you about the zodiac letters,
Correct.
and today we're going to do a test. I'm going to show you 5 letters, and you're going to tell me if they're zodiac based on our findings. We need a preponderance of evidence, so that's
Okay.
going to be your job, okay?
Okay. Well, this one's pretty easy because we know that it's a zodiac letter because he has written the letter.
Okay, so zodiac writing. Right. Now, what I'm going to tell everybody at home is, one thing in order to determine a letter, if it's actual zodiac, is it has to be written at the appropriate time period.
Right.
And we do that with either the watermark, which helps because the watermark, it not only does it identify who made the paper, it tells you when they made it. And number 2, sometimes if we can't find the watermark, we have what we call historical reference, where if the historical reference is good enough and solid enough, we know when this letter was written. So this one, all the letters I'm going to show you have either watermarked for the right time period, or they have historical reference for the time period, except one. Okay?
Okay.
So right off the bat, you said you saw the zodiac writing. While we're on this letter, What else can you see?
That there's a lot of oil staining around.
Right,
the
got the
edges.
oil staining.
Right.
Oil staining is in the margins, correct?
I can see the watermark.
Okay,
too.
so there's part of the watermark down in here
Right.
and throughout. So we've got, right off the bat on this letter, we've got oil stain, we got the right time, we've got Zodiac writing that's nice. We don't know if it's Zodiac, but it sure looks it. We've got oil staining, and we've got the watermark. Okay, we'll come back to this though, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Jethro, I've gone to another photograph. Tell me what you see that would convince you if this is a Zodiac letter or not. What helps us prove that it is a Zodiac letter?
There's just a preponderance of
Right,
evidence.
right. So we may not have a watermark, but we need a preponderance of evidence. So now go to what you see. You tell me.
Well, I see some geometric transverse
Right,
lines,
we've got the
lines,
transverse lines very clear in
but I don't
this.
see any watermarks.
Okay, that's fine. We don't see the watermark, but we can see the transverse lines. And what do you see within the transverse lines? Do you see anything that resembles faces?
Cartoon faces.
Right. So, okay, so based on what you've seen so far, what's your opinion of this letter?
It's a Zodiac letter.
Okay, very good. So, okay, Jethro, I've got another letter in front of us. All I'm going to tell you is that 4 out of the 5 letters are proven historically. You tell me what you see that would lead you to believe that this is a Zodiac letter or not.
Well, it's typewritten, so I can't.
Very good. It's
Right.
typewritten, so we don't have Zodiac writing, do we?
Yeah,
But
so I
it's
don't-
not critical, right?
right.
Okay. What else do you see?
Oh, watermark. I see a
Right,
watermark.
you got the watermark in there, so we've got the right paper. But lots of people have this paper, so that doesn't prove anything. What else do you see?
Oil staining, basically.
Right,
and
you got the oil
geometric,
staining, right? What else do you see?
cartoon faces,
And what was the geometric that you saw?
transverse lines.
Transverse lines, correct. So this letter, in your opinion, what is it?
It's a Zodiac.
Based on?
Preponderance of evidence.
Very good. Okay, Jethro, I've put up another picture. You're going to determine if it's Zodiac or not. What leads you to believe what this picture is? You tell me what we look for.
Well, first of all, it's a card, so I can't really tell anything from the writing of the Zodiac.
There is no writing,
no
correct?
writing. Oh, there's no watermark. There's no watermark on it. One of the things that stands out is the oil staining.
Very good. We got oil staining.
Right. And we have rectangular geometric oil staining.
Correct. The oil staining is very like a
Yeah.
rectangle. What else?
I don't see anything right now.
Okay, we'll come back to this one.
Okay.
Tell me what you look for to determine if the letter is Zodiac or not.
Well, the writing is very similar.
Interesting. The writing
Yeah.
does look like Zodiac writing, but we don't know because we're not handwriting experts, right?
Right.
What else do you see?
I see the oil staining.
Oil staining, is it
Around
in
the
the right
outside.
places, in the margins? Yep. Okay. And what else do you see?
I see transverse lines.
Very good. Transverse lines in the oil staining. Okay, so we've got oil staining, transverse lines. Do we see the watermark?
No watermark.
No
I don't see
watermark,
any
but
watermark.
okay, so that's not critical. All right, very good. We will come back. Right now, do we have a preponderance of evidence, do you think, to call this letter?
Very similar.
Okay.
Close to it.
Maybe we need faces, so we'll
Right.
come back to this letter.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Okay, Jethro, I've gone back to the very first letter. The only thing that you hadn't identified in this letter was if there was any transverse lines or faces. So you tell me what's on this letter. Do you see
There's
transverse?
lines with faces.
Very good. You see them.
I see that this is a Zodiac letter.
Oh, okay. We will come back and check it shortly. Okay, Jethro, I've gone back to the second letter that you looked at,
Right.
and you identified oil staining, and you identified there was Zodiac writing, and now I've kind of honed in. What else do you see? Do you see any transverse lines, or
I see faces
you got
within
the
the
faces
transverse
within the?
line.
Very good.
Transverse lines.
All right. So, what, in your opinion, this second letter, is it Zodiac or not, based on the preponderance of evidence?
It's a Zodiac.
Okay, Jethro, this is the third letter that I showed you, and this one is a little interesting. It didn't have Zodiac writing, it had type on it, correct?
Correct.
Yes, but what else did we find on it? Did it have oil staining?
We have oil staining.
Does it have the watermark?
Yes, we have a watermark.
Okay. Do we have transverse lines?
Lines with
Yeah,
cartoon faces.
with cartoon faces. So, is this a Zodiac letter or not on the
Yes, it
preponderance?
is.
Even though there's no
Preponderance of
Zodiac
evidence.
writing.
It's a Zodiac.
It's a Zodiac letter. Okay. Okay, Jethro, we're to the fourth letter, and you did identify the oil staining. There is no Zodiac writing on it. And you
Correct.
did identify that the oil staining is in a rectangular type, so it's a geometric. I'm going to help you on this one by
Okay.
moving to another photo within the...
Cartoon faces.
Right. Got a big tuft of hair on the guy on the right. He's got a
Yeah.
smile. So in your opinion, is this a Zodiac letter or not?
Yes.
Based on...
Based on preponderance of evidence.
Now that's interesting because we don't have a watermark.
right.
We don't have a
Right.
any writing, but you are convinced this is a genuine Zodiac.
yes.
Okay, Jethro, I've gone back to the fifth letter. The fifth letter, as you already identified, had Zodiac-like writing on it. It had
Correct.
oil staining in the margins. It had
Right.
transverse lines. And now what are we looking at in the oil staining? What do you see?
Cartoon faces.
What is your opinion about this letter?
It's a Zodiac.
Zodiac letter. Okay, so we've gone through all 5 questions, 5 letters. Okay, Jethro, now I'm going to grade you as to how well you did, because you called all 5 letters Zodiac letters based on a preponderance of evidence.
Correct.
This is letter number 1. This is clearly a Zodiac letter, and in fact, it has the word L. Allen on it, which I think we said that stood for
Lancelot.
Lancelot Allen, right. So this is, you were right. So you're 1 for 1.
Yeah.
Okay, Jethro, this is the second letter that I showed to you, and it also had everything that we were looking for to show a preponderance of evidence that it's a Zodiac letter. And I will tell you, the very first 2, the handwriting experts also said this was a Zodiac letter. So you are
Correct.
2 for 2.
Yeah.
Not
2 for
bad,
2.
huh? Okay, Jethro, this is letter number 3. And this is the letter that had the typewriting on it.
Right.
But you've identified it as a Zodiac letter. It does have the right watermark. It's got the staining, the transverse lines, and it has faces in it that are pretty obvious and easy to see. Are you ready to see who wrote this?
All right. All right. All right.
Well, Jethro, here is letter number 3, and you may be
Wait
a
a
little
minute.
surprised. What do you-
It's signed by Arthur Leigh Allen.
Well, so what does that mean, that you screwed up?
No, it's a letter that he typed.
Well, it's got the preponderance.
It's
So what
yeah,
does that mean? What does that mean? It's signed by Leigh Allen. It's not signed by the Zodiac. What does it mean?
Arthur Leigh Allen's a Zodiac.
Very good, Jethro. You're smarter than I thought. All right, Jethro, this was letter number 4 that you said was a Zodiac letter. Was sent in, and handwriting expert Lloyd Cunningham said, no, it's not Zodiac. How do you explain that?
Well, we noticed that there was transverse lines and oil staining and cartoon faces on it.
Right. What we have, handwriting expert is only at best 75% accurate. Even in the most skilled handwriting expert, Lloyd Cunningham is certainly a superior handwriting expert, but he agonized over this one.
Right.
If he had had our evidence, our data, I guarantee you he would have concluded this was a Zodiac, because this is
Yep.
a true blue Zodiac letter, even though it's been classified as a counterfeit.
Correct.
Very good. You are 4 for 4. Okay, Jethro, here is letter number 5 that you said.
What the heck? I thought it was
You
a
said
Zodiac.
it was a Zodiac, but what do you think? This is the Manson letter I was telling you about. This is the only letter that we haven't dated yet. So
Okay.
we don't know if it's historically accurate. I know nothing about this letter.
Right.
I was told it was recovered by the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department when they raided the Barker Ranch for Manson property. But from the preponderance of evidence, we went through this.
Right.
What's your opinion? You called it a Zodiac letter. Are you right or are you wrong?
I'm right. It's a
You are
Zodiac.
right. Arthur L. Allen authored this letter. Interesting, eh?
Yep. Amazing.
Okay, Jethro, what we tried to show today is science doesn't lie. Okay?
Right.
The technique that I have been credited by the FBI of inventing produces evidence, it produces data. From that preponderance of evidence to conclude whether a letter is Zodiac or not. This is a perfect example. This is not a known Zodiac letter. It doesn't have the Zodiac symbol. It has writing very similar to Zodiac, but this was authored by Arthur L. Allen, and this is indeed a Zodiac letter.
Correct.
Okay? Until somebody can come and prove that my technique and the evidence I produce is wrong or fraudulent, this really makes me the premier person for determining if a letter was authored by Arthur Leigh Allen. The only thing I don't know about this letter is when it was written. If this is historically accurate, why do we have a letter mixed in with the Manson letter? But it's very, very interesting, and we have a group of people working on that right now.
My boyfriend's back and you're gonna be in trouble.